Hi everybody, how you doing? It's Monday, I start a new week and here we are back again. So did you miss me all yesterday? I tried not to do any work at all yesterday. I tried to be completely like shop and white gecko free yesterday. Watched a lot of nonsense on the telly, did some housework, finished a big jigsaw. So yeah, had a nice lazy day yesterday. To be honest, I'm feeling a bit meh today. Not physically, I feel physically fine, but yeah, I think mental health wise, this being in lockdown is not good, and so hopefully you guys are all going to cheer me up today. So say hi if you're there, and let me know that you're watching. And what we're going to do today is we're going to do some amigurumi. So I'm going to take you through some of the stuff that we've got, and then I'm going to take you through the basic steps. There's only one real stitch that you use, and also how to increase and decrease. Okay, so I'm going to take you through some of that. Let me know how you're feeling though, because like I said, I'm not feeling great today. I haven't got my normal bubbly head on. I've got a bit of a grumpy head on. The boy should watch out really. So yeah, I think it's just the lockdown. It's being stuck indoors, and just not being a bit uncertain about everything, isn't it? It's all a bit knocks you off your game a bit. So I'm gonna try and be positive today. I'm gonna try and snap out of my grumpy mood and show you what we're going to be doing. Okay. Hi Sarah. So Sarah's there, fab, and Linda's there too. Cool. Hi Linda. So you need to cheer me all up today. Oh, my husband's there as well, and Marianne. Oh, lovely. And Sheila. Yes, I am going to cover Magic Circle. Absolutely, I'm going to show you that today. And Elaine's there too. Cool. Oh, see, I'm already in a better mood. Oh yeah, Sandra, it's not great, is it? I mean, I don't know whether being totally by yourself is worse or being surrounded by all your children constantly. So hi guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take you through. Hi Liz. Everyone's there. Oh, that's fab. Oh, see, I'm feeling better already just knowing you're all out there, which is lovely. So what I'm going to do is just take you through some of the stuff that I've got here to show. But you haven't thrown yourself on your bed in a paddy. No, I haven't, Sarah. Is that meaning that you have? She probably has. She really probably has. Right, okay, so I'm going to show you some of the stuff we've got. Okay, so what I'm going to do today is, hang on, I'm going to flip around. There we go. So there's lots and lots of things to do with amigurumi out there. There's lots of free patterns. If you go onto Ravelry and look up crochet patterns, there's lots there. Hi, Elaine. But I'm just going to show you some of the little books that we've got in, which are by Sirdar, and these are all designed for these little soft amigurumi. So there's two different types. There's the chenille wool. Hi, Grace. This is the chenille, which is very, very soft. I wouldn't recommend it to start off with, because it's even though it's quite forgiving when it's actually crocheted up, it's not as easy to knit with as cotton. Okay, so we've also got the little balls of happy cotton. Now all of these will go onto the website. There's 50 colours in the happy cotton, and there's 28 I believe in the chenille, so I'm going to get all those put onto the website. You can see there's lots and lots of beautiful colours in them. Okay, can you see those, guys? But I'm going to get all those, and they're 85p a ball, but you can do amigurumi with absolutely anything. So what I thought I'd do is just flick through. Actually, I'm going to give the camera to Drew, because he's filming with me again today. So I'm going to give the camera to Drew so that he can I can show you I've got both hands. Okay, so say hi, Drew. Yeah. There we go. Flip you around. Hi guys, how you all doing? Okay, so what I thought I'd do is show you some of the little books that we've got, okay, just as a starter, and then we're going to go through the basic stitches. So you can see with these ones there's all sorts of lovely little characters. Okay, so this crab here, you can see, is that one there. Sally made this one for us, and this is the little llama, which is in one of the little books as well. Okay, so these little books have got about 8 or 9 patterns in them, but like I said, there are lots and lots of amigurumi patterns out there. There's a whole website called Amigurumi Today. I hope I'm saying it right. That's how I say it. Amigurumi Today. which is brilliant. There's loads and loads of things on there, and they don't have to be little. They don't have to be little ones like this. Myself and Linda, back years ago, we made a pug. Oh, what was that?
No, your phone just made a weird noise. I was like, what?
Oh, right, okay. Made a pug, which was massive. He literally sat like that. He was huge, done in Aran. So you can do this technique in any type of wool. They do suggest that you go down quite a lot of hook sizes actually. So with the double knit, you would normally, these are double knit. With double knit, you'd normally use a 4mm hook. They suggest going to down to like a 275 or no, sorry, 275, a 3 or a 325, because you don't want to see the stuff in. Okay, so if you go too thick on them, you'll see the stuff in through. Okay.
May I ask, is that website free?
Yeah, there are lots of free patterns on there. Yeah, there are paid patterns on there, but there are lots of free ones. I'll put a link to it. To that website on our Facebook page after this, okay? But it's called Amigurumi. I'm sure it's called Amigurumi Today, and yeah, there's loads and loads. There are some free ones on there, but Ravelry as well. If you go onto Ravelry, there's lots of free patterns on there too. Okay, and like I was saying, you can do it in any yarn that you've got around. They look particularly nice done in cotton, and I think they've got a nice finish to them as well. But you can do them in any do this in any double knit at all. So. If you guys had the Let's Crochet pattern leaflet from us last Monday, some of these stitches I'm going to be doing are on there. If you want a copy of it, it's a free little guide to how to do a magic circle, which is how we start most of amigurumi, and also how to do double crochets and stuff. Okay, so you can email me at shop@whitegeckoevents.co.uk, our usual email address. If you email me and ask me for a copy of the crochet leaflet, the magic circle instructions and all of this will be on there as well. Okay, so if you haven't already got that, please do drop me an email and I'll get that out to you today by email. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to actually, if I start on with this one here, I'm going to show you about reading a pattern. Okay. The nice thing about these little patterns as well is they've also got all your basics. They've got, so these are $3.99 each, these little books. And again, they'll all be on the website this afternoon. You can see it shows you how to do a magic ring, how to do a chain slip, how to do a double crochet, and all on here as well, how to increase and decrease as well. But I'm going to show you an invisible decrease. Right? So people get quite scared about patterns, about how to read them. But if you're a knitter, it's no different to learning to read a knitting pattern. It's all about the abbreviations. And the nice thing about this little book is it's got all your abbreviations here, and then it tells you exactly what you're going to do. Okay, so we're going to start as if we were making a body. Okay, because it's pretty much how you start is how you start for any part of it. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to teach you how to do a magic ring. Okay, because can you see here it says round 1, start 6 DC into a magic ring. Okay, 6 DC, if you have a little look at your abbreviations, DC means double crochet. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do a magic ring and do your double crochets. So Drew, I'm going to move this one out of your way. So previously, when we did the little thing last Monday with starting to crochet, we started with a slip stitch and a knot, and then we did a chain to make a little ring. Magic rings are slightly different. Okay, so I'm hoping Drew can get a close up on my fingers. So what I'm going to do is I've got my tail here. See, I'm going to wrap round to make a circle, and then I'm going to cross it over, throw it to the back. So can you see it kind of makes a cross on the front? And then if I open my first and middle finger, put my crochet hook in and grab hold of that bottom of the yarn and pull it through, I've got like a circle like this with a hook on my stitch. Okay, so I'm going to do that again. So I'm going to go across like that, wrap all the way around, and then sort of throw it to the back so I've got a cross on the front. Open up my fingers, and if I insert my hook in here, okay, and pick up that wool there, I've got my magic ring. Okay, I'm going to do that one more time for you. So lay the yarn across my hand, round and over like that, so I've got a cross. Open up my fingers, I'm going to insert into the circle and pick up that yarn, and then I'm gently pulling my fingers out so it all stays really nice and loose. Okay, now it doesn't always tell you to do this, but I like to just do a single chain stitch like that, just to hold everything in place. Okay, you don't have to do that. A lot of patterns don't tell you to do that. It's something that I do because you're going to be working into this big floppy hole here. Okay, and that just holds everything in place. Don't pull it too tightly, and you're not going to count that as anything. It's just a holding stitch. Okay, so I'm going to do that once more for you. So we're going to go across the top, all the way around, and sort of flip it over. Open those two fingers, pull through there, and then you want to put it all off your fingers. Okay, and then you've got to be kind of careful with this. I'm going to do a single chain just like that, just to hold it all in place. Okay, so if we go back to the pattern a second, where it says start with 6 DC into a magic ring, it means you're going to put 6 double crochets into the magic ring. So what they mean by that is this big circle here where my fingers are, that's where I'm going to be working into. Now we did trebles last Monday, but a double is very slightly different. So with the treble, I would wrap the wool round first. You're not going to do that. You're going to go straight into this big hole. You're going to wrap the wool and pull up. So I've got 2, a double, 2 on my hook. I'm going to wrap and pull through both of them. Okay, so that's one stitch. So I'm going to insert into the hole, wrap and pull up, wrap and pull through 2. Okay, so that's 2 doubles. I'm not going to wrap at all because that's a treble. I'm going to insert in, wrap and pull up, and I'm inserting it into this big hole that the ring made. And can you see how big I'm keeping it as well? Wrap and through 2. Just pull off and wind this yarn a bit. Okay, so I'm going to go, and can you see I'm there's the tail here, so I'm working along the edge. So that was 1, 2, that's 3 in there. So in, pull up, so I've got 2 on my hook, wrap through 2, so in, pull up, wrap again through 2, that's 5, and then in and pull up, wrap again, and there's my 6. Okay, so at the moment it kind of looks like this. Can you guys see that? All right, so I've got all my stitches with the chain along the top there, and this big loop here. Now if I pull this the tail of the yarn like this, it's going to pull up that ring, make it disappear, so I've got this really nice tight little knot of yarn. Okay, can you see here? You can see just like with the trebles, can you see you've got the stitches? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 all the way around. That's the 6 that we did. Okay, so I'm going to do that whole process again for you. In fact, give me 2 seconds. I'm just going to grab a stitch marker. Here we go. Sorry about that. I've got my stitch marker. So I'm going to start the whole process again. How's everybody doing? Is that making sense to everybody so far? Everybody okay? Let me know, okay, if you're following along with this and whether you understand it or not, and let me know if you need me to go through anything else, all right? So we're going to go back to the magic ring. I'm going to go across like that and cross it over. So I've got a cross, open my fingers, and then I'm going to pull through, my hook through, and pull that yarn up, and then just gently slide all my fingers out. Okay, it looks a bit awkward, and actually it is awkward doing it slowly. Okay, and then I always just, like I said, I always just do a chain just to anchor it. You don't have to do that chain, but I find it helps. Okay, so I'm going to put 6 double crochets into this big ring. So I'm going to go in, pull up, there's 1, in, pull up, there's 2.
Sheila says it's ready clear, thank you.
Pull up. Cool, fab, thank you, I'm glad you're getting it. There's number 3, in, pull up, and there's number 4. And can you see that I'm kind of trying to keep my stitches, so don't let them twist around the ring. I'm keeping them so that the top of the stitch is all in line, okay? So that was 4.
Sandra said even I managed that. Good direction.
Excellent. There we go. And there's 5. Okay. Oh, sorry, that's 6. There we go. So now I've got six double crochets in there. Okay, just take my, and then if I pull the tail, do you remember when I said if I pulled the tail like that, it pulls it all up, and there's the start. Now, I would suggest using a stitch marker, okay? Because with amigurumi, you don't join your rows, okay? Do you want to come back up to me a minute? Okay, so with amigurumi, you don't join your rows, you work in a spiral. So you need to know where your last stitch of each row is in order to make that spiral. Certainly when you're doing like bodies and arms and legs and things, different if you're doing like flat pieces like ears and stuff, but when you're doing things that make in a tube, you're working in a spiral. We're not going to join the row and then start a new row, we're going to keep working, so you really do need to mark that last stitch. So what I'm going to do, Drew, if you can come close, so where that number 6 stitch is there, I'm going to put a stitch marker in there. And so I know that my next row I need to be finishing in that stitch. Okay, so back to the little book. You can see now, it says 2 DC into each stitch around, which should end up with 12 stitches. So what that means is I'm going to increase into each stitch, and all an increase is putting 2 stitches into one. Okay. So this is my first stitch here. Can you see the little V shape? So I'm going to put, and again we're doing it in doubles, so I'm going to put my crochet hook through and pull up. So there's 1, and I'm going to put another 1, 2 into that 1 stitch, because I've made 2 stitches out of 1 now. Okay, so there's my next stitch there. Can you see? So I've got the 2 little loops there, so I'm going to make sure I get both of them and pull up. I'm going to put 1, 2, so that's 4, and you want to count as you're doing it because it says you want to end up with 12 stitches, so number 11 and 12 are going to go where I've put my stitch marker. So that's 4. Oh, hang on a minute, I'm using the tail. So okay, so don't do that, don't use the tail. Oh, there you go. And take it back to the beginning. Make sure you use the working yarn, not the tail. Otherwise you run out of wool. Okay, so first stitch. We're going to go 1 in there. I have got the working yarn this time. So 1. And straight in, pull up. That's 2. Here's your next stitch here. 3 and 4. And I'm going to put 2 into this one. So that's 5 and 6.
There's a stitch marker, question mark.
Yeah, so this is what a stitch marker looks like. It's those things you never use and then wonder why things don't go straight. 6, there we go. So this one's going to be into this stitch. We're going to put 2, so 7 and 8. And then this next one here is 9 and 10. Okay, and then this was my last stitch from the previous round, so I'm going to take that one out so I can put number 11, 2 into that one, which would be 11 and 12. Okay, and then number 12 is this stitch here, so I'm going to put the stitch marker back into number 12, so I know on my next round that's the last stitch I should be going into. Okay, so my next round now says 1 DC and then 2 DC into the next stitch. So what it means by that is I'm going to put 1 double crochet into this one, and then I'm going to put 2, an increase, into the next one, and then 1, and then 2 into the next one, and then 1 in there and 2 in there, 1 in there, 2 in there, and you would work your way all the way around, and that will leave you with 18 stitches. Okay, so here's my next stitch here. Can you see the little C, little V shape there? Okay, so I'm going to put 1 into there, and then I'm going to put 2 in the next one. So I'm doing 1, 2 and 3, and then 1 in the next one, which would be 4, and then 2 in that one, 5 and 6. Just get some wool, and then 7, and then 8 and 9. Oh, get that tail out the way. Okay, so that's 8 and 9 and 10, and then 11, 12 in this one, 11, 12, and then 1 in the next, that's 13, and then 14, 15 in this next one, 14, 15, and then 16, and then I'm back to the end of the row. So 17 and 18 are going to go into that last stitch, so stitch marker comes out, and then I'm going to put 17 and 18 in there, 17 and 18, and then let's put the stitch marker back in that last one there. Okay, so can you see how that's starting to make sense? And what I'm doing is it's actually at the moment staying nice and flat, and that's because I'm increasing each row. I'm making the stitches slightly bigger, slightly more stitches each time. Okay, if you did the same stitches, which you will do later in the pattern, you'll end up with a tube. Okay, so at the minute that's row 3 done, and we're going to do that. So then if you look here at row 4 and 5 on the book, it says 1 DC into each stitch around. So what I'm going to do now, you're literally just going to put 1 stitch all the way around, and that will start to, basically what we're looking at is, I don't know if you can see the llama, if I pretend his ears aren't there, is that. So I've increased to get the width, and then it's going to start to come down. Okay, because if you put just 1 stitch in every one and you don't increase, oh, poor llama, I'm chucking him around. Is that making sense to everybody so far? Is everybody with me on that? Yeah? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to whip round, and I'm going to put 1 stitch. You probably won't be able to see this because I'm going to go really fast, so you might want to come out a minute, Drew. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 1 stitch in every one all the way around, and it should be 18 stitches on each one. If it's not 18, okay, you've missed a stitch. Take it out, you've missed a stitch, okay? So what I'm doing is I'm okay with this. I've done this a lot. So I made a baby Yoda for my nephew the other day, which was the picture I put onto Facebook. He loved it. I'm very pleased that he liked it. But that was with these new chenille yarns, and yeah, really, really soft to work with. So I'm going to take that stitch marker out.
Meg's gone to walk the kids.
Meg's gone to walk the kids. Remember, these will all be on our YouTube. This video will be on our YouTube channel later, so you'll be able to catch up with it. Okay?
She says she's coming back to watch you do the decrease because she got stuck on that last one.
Right, okay. I'm going to show you an invisible decrease, okay, because it's much nicer for amigurumi, because it means that you can't really tell where your decreases are, okay? So I'm just going to go all the way around this just so you can see how it starts to come in. And remember, I'm doing this with chunky wool and a size 6 needle so that you can see the stitches on the video. If I did this in double with a smaller needle, you'd struggle to actually see what I was doing. So I've deliberately chosen quite a chunky wool for this. Okay, so I'm going all the way around. So what did everybody get up to this weekend? Anybody get up to anything exciting? I think I'm feeling a bit down in the dumps because it's my mum's birthday in a couple of days' time, and I'm not going to be able to go and see her. you know, I can't go out shopping and buy her anything nice. I mean, I will put a card in the post and stuff, but yeah, it's annoying because I can't see her, and a bit worried about my sister as well because she's an ICU nurse, so she's dealing with lots of very, very poorly patients at the moment. So yeah, it's horrible, isn't it? This you know, it was all good fun and games for the first few days, but now it's kind of a bit like, oh, I can't go and see Mum on her birthday. It's a shame. So. Right, so can you see, Drew, if you come back, going back to this, because I've just put one double crochet into each stitch, how it's starting to cup up. Can you see how it's starting to create the top of because this is the little kitten on the front here. Where's the kitten? It's one of these ones here, I think. So this is like the bottom of the body. So this is like a bottom, basically, a bum. Okay. And that was because I didn't increase at all. Okay. So you would follow a pattern, hopefully you can see this, but you would follow a pattern row by row. And most of the patterns are pretty self-explanatory. So you can see here where it says row 6, 5 DC. So that means you put one stitch in the next 5. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would do 5 DCs, as in one in each. Okay. So if it says 5 DC like that, that doesn't mean 5 in one stitch, that means 5 singles. So you're going to do 1 DC 5 times all the way along. Okay, and then it says DC 2 together, and you're going to do that 4 times. Okay, so I'm going to do this little row for you so I can show you how to decrease. So I'm going to go 1, next stitch, 2, next stitch, 3, next stitch, 4, next stitch, 5. So that's that first bit, 5 DC. And then it says, can you hopefully you can see this on any pattern, not just these patterns, on any patterns, this is always the same. If it's in stars or in brackets and then it says so many times afterwards, that means you're doing what's in the brackets that many times. So I'm going to DC 2 together 4 times. Okay, so hopefully you can get this bit here. I'm going to show you a decrease. Now, a lot of books will tell you to decrease this way, but I'm going to show you both ways. So a normal standard decrease is you go into that first stitch and pull up. You go into the next stitch along and pull up. And then you wrap the wool and you go through those. Okay, so what you've done is you've taken 2 stitches down to 1. Okay. It's perfectly fine to do that decrease. It can be a little holy sometimes though. So the way I like to do it is an invisible decrease, and I'm really hoping you can see that. Can you see on that top strand there you've got a front loop and a back loop? Okay, so what you do is you go into the front loop, okay, like that, and then you go into the front loop again like that, and you wrap and pull through both and then finish off. Okay, so that's your double as an invisible, and you won't be able to see that one. It doesn't leave any hole at all, but you've still taken 2 stitches down to 1. So let me show you those 2 again. Okay, so the standard decrease is you go into the first stitch and pull up, and then into the second stitch and pull up, and then you go through all 3 on the hook. Okay, but you can see it ends up being a little bit holy. So the way I like to do it is my invisible decrease. So I go front loop, wrap the wool and pull through, okay, and then wrap the wool and pull through those 2, and that way you don't get those holes. Okay, so that's the way I prefer to do it, as an invisible decrease. Which way you do it is entirely up to you, but I've given you both options there. Okay, so I'm going to just quickly go through it again. So a double crochet is just straight in, wrap and pull up, wrap and through 2. Okay, so double being 2 on the hook. So do that one once again. So you're going to go in, wrap, pull up, wrap through 2 like that. And
So Jenny said she's been baking soda bread and
Nice.
want to go shopping because she's got birthdays coming up in April. Then Kate said Matt and I had FaceTime with his family in Thailand and went for a lovely walk after
Nice.
being out in 3 weeks. And then Sally said, got any tips on sewing on limbs, struggling with that? And ooh, I like that decrease.
Yes, that decrease is much nicer, isn't it? Yeah, I'll go through limbs in just a second for you. Absolutely. So so that was the standard double. So an increase, if it says increase, it just means you're going to put 2 double crochets in the same stitch. So you've made 1 into 2. Okay, and then a decrease. So you've got a standard decrease, which is in, pull up, and then pull through all 3, or as I was showing you, so front loop only, pull through, and then finish it off. Okay, so that's kind of, if you come back up to me, that's kind of the 3 stitches you will use. So you've got your magic loop right back at the beginning, you've got your double crochets, you've got an increase, and you've got a decrease. Okay, which decrease you use is entirely up to you. And there really is nothing more to amigurumi than those sort of 3 stitches. It's all a variation of that. Okay, they occasionally use a half treble, but very, very rarely. But yeah, that's the main stitches. Okay, have a little go. Have a little, you know, like I said, I'm going to put all these books onto our website this afternoon, so you can buy them if you want. But I will put a link to amigurumi today on, and if you put free amigurumi patterns into Google, there's loads and loads out there that you can just have a little play with. But these little books from Serda are fabulous. We also, like I was saying, I will put all 50 colours of the little cottons on for you, and the chenilles as well. Okay, I have to say I loved working with the chenilles, but I wouldn't go for it if you've never done it before. I would wait until you've done at least one. Okay. So putting on limbs, I do struggle as well with sewing on limbs. I use a lot of pins. Okay, so I don't know, say this was his tail, say this was a bunny tail. Okay, I do pin it all on in place first. So I know we're making him a snail. Let me grab some pins. I like to use a nice big flower head pin so that they don't disappear into the stuffing. And I do pin it all in, so which you probably already do, Sal, but I think it's just practice. I do tend to pin it all in to make sure it's exactly where I want it to be, and sort of pull it out, you know, to get it the shape that I want it to be. Obviously this would be stuffed normally. Okay, and I pin it in place and I keep readjusting it until it's right. Okay, and then I just slip stitch it in. So I always try and take both when I'm slip stitching. I'll just grab a needle a second. There we go. So I always try and take those 2 pieces, okay, and then down through like that. And I always use, if it's different colours, I always use the colour of the body, the colour of the thing that I'm stitching on. So in this case I'd use the blue. I think you see it less than if I use, say, the brown.
Sally says no, I don't, I go rogue.
Try pinning it then, love. If you're struggling, I do try pinning it. Like that, go rogue. Yeah, sometimes you've got to wing it, haven't you? However, I don't know why you're worrying about your limbs, because these are ones Sal made for me. These are fantastic. You did a brilliant job with these. They look really, really lovely. I love this little crab, and I have to say your limb sewing on is brilliant. So I wouldn't worry too much. If this is rogue, it's really good. So anybody got any other little questions they'd like to ask me about amigurumi? Like I said, this is only a really quick, short, sort of little brief look at it. But it's a really nice method. If you don't want to make blankets and things like that, and you want to make some little soft toys, it's a really nice little way to get started. And it's not as hard as you think it is. Take it by row on the pattern, and make sure that stitch count is right at the end of each row. And if that's right, you'll be fine. Okay, anybody got any questions? Anybody got anything they want to say? No? Drew, any comments there? No? Hopefully that meant it was all really self-explanatory. You've got it all. Like I said, if you want a copy of our Learn to Crochet leaflet, drop me an email onto the shop@whitegeckoevents.co.uk email. I will put this onto YouTube this afternoon. So again, remember that we've got a new YouTube channel now, so you'll be able to watch these back and pause me and go through the stitches little bit by little bit. So they'll all be on our YouTube channel. Please subscribe if you haven't already. We had a lady email us about the raffle this morning. There are a few spaces left on our Stir Crazy prize draw raffle, which is like £200 worth of goodies. She was having trouble paying for that, so do let me know if you've tried to pay and you can't, because you can give us a call and I can take payment over the phone. Okay.
Sally said that is great, big help.
Good.
Jenny said no questions, thank you Sarah and Drew.
Cool.
Linda said using that stitch marker helps.
Yes, using the little stitch marker definitely.
Oh, market. That makes sense.
Marker, yeah.
It came up as market.
Right, yeah, stitch marker, yeah. I think it's kind of essential. And if you haven't got a stitch marker, use a safety pin. Just use a safety pin, something that you know is going to stay put and not move. Certainly with amigurumi, it's because it's done in the spiral, not row by row. Even though patterns are written as row, you don't join. If that makes sense, you really do need to know when that last stitch is. Okay.
And then Sarah said, "Love the decrease."
Yeah, it's a nice little decrease, that one. It is almost invisible, you can't see it, so it doesn't leave any holes, which is fab. Cool. Right, well, I'm going to love you and leave you then, and see you all tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to do some cutting techniques, how to get the best out of your ruler, and how to square up. And I'm also going to do show you how to do your binding as well, because a lot of people have asked me about getting good mitered corners. So I'm going to do so how to cut your fabric to get the most out of it, how to square up, and how to do your binding. And I'll also put on tomorrow the instructions for Wednesday's block. Okay, so you'll know which block we're going to do, and you'll have your cutting instructions, and then we'll have our sew along on Wednesday. So cool. Take care, everybody. See, you have cheered me up. I'm in a bit of a better mood now. And I will see you all tomorrow. Bye, lovelies. See you soon. Bye.